Welcome back to All About Community. My name is Robert L. Harris, and I am your host. When we went to break, I said Richard rather than Reginald Freeman. This is our fire chief right here in the city of Oakland, and he is Reginald D. Freeman. Absolutely great person, energetic person, and an exciting person to talk with. When we went to break, we were talking about some of the resources that were needed, etc. But let's talk for a moment, Chief Freeman, about what are the requirements for becoming a fireman, because it's important that we have lots of firemen, that is, full capacity for the firemen. What are the requirements? Do they have to meet certain physical standards or what?
That's a great question, Mr. Harris. And before I get into the particulars, as the chief of the department, the first few requirements you have to have is that you have to love Oakland.
I love Oakland.
We are public servants. We value our community. We value our city, and we certainly value the representation of our city that we are sworn to serve. So, first and foremost, if you want to be an Oakland firefighter, you have to be passionate about people and passionate about service. Now, on the piece of paper in human resources, what they'll say is a requirement is you have to have a high school diploma or a GED. We also ensure that our firefighters have EMT, emergency medical technician, because a lot of what we do as professional emergency responders is not just fight fire. We respond to 66,000 calls a year. And out of that 66,000 calls a year, 75 to 80% of those calls are EMS or emergency medical services calls for service. So EMS, or being an EMT and or paramedic, is very important to our mission. Rooted and founded in the passion of serving people and being of service.
Now these technicians, they are people who are other than firemen, right? Is that correct?
Yes, sir. So you have, for instance, an ambulance transport company here in Oakland that is Falk Ambulance Company. You may have an ambulance that just has EMTs, and you may have an ambulance that has a paramedic which can provide advanced life support on that particular ambulance as they transport that patient to the hospital.
And you say the first requirement is you have to love Oakland,
That's right.
which is great, but I assume you don't have to necessarily live in Oakland.
No, sir, you do not have to. But we are very excited when we see applicants who are from Oakland.
Oh, that's good. And I think earlier you talked a little bit about the duties of people being, I know from what my knowledge is of firefighters, you have to go and stay in the fire station for a certain number of time. How does that work?
Sure. So our firefighters, they work 2 days on and 4 days off. Now, prior to your entry level salary is roughly $35,000 as a new firefighter trainee. Now, after 1 month, that salary jumps up to $93,000 a year.
93?
$93,000. And then the top pay for firefighter, that pay gets up to $120,000 to be a professional emergency responder with the title of firefighter here in the city of Oakland.
Oh, not bad at all. Anybody out there looking to become a firefighter, you know what to do. Sign up.
That's right.
There's also, I believe, a program called Volunteers in the Fire Department. How do you volunteer in the fire department?
So in the fire service, nationwide, there's approximately a few 100,000 firefighters and 45,000 fire departments. However, only roughly about 18% of these 45,000 fire departments are career professional organizations such as Oakland. So there's a large volunteer force within fire and emergency services around the country. In Oakland, we do not have volunteer firefighters, but we do have programs to where folks can volunteer and contribute.
Okay, well, let's talk about some of those programs that people can engage in and contribute.
Sure. One program specifically that we're very proud of is our CERT program, which is Community Emergency Response Team.
Okay.
And that is managed by our emergency management services division. So these are ordinary residents and citizens throughout various neighborhoods throughout the city of Oakland who volunteer their time, who receive specific specialized training, and can assist in the event of a large-scale incident or natural disaster.
Now, if I wanted to volunteer, well, of course, I'm probably too mature, old.
We're always looking for seasoned residents to contribute to the mission.
Now, how would one go about doing that? Would they call the fire department or what?
The best way to actually volunteer your services is to send an email to emergencyplanning@oaklandca.gov. So for our viewers, emergency planning at oaklandca.gov. So you send that email, and one of our professionals from our emergency management team will respond and assist you in doing what has to be done to get you started in the process of joining our CERT team.
Now, is that any way related to Friends of the Oakland Fire Department?
Not directly related, but Friends of the Oakland Fire Department, that is a nonprofit organization that has done tremendous work in our community, for our community and for our Oakland firefighters, and we're so grateful for everything that they do.
Okay. Unfortunately, again, we have to go to break. My name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and this time I'm going to get it correct. It is our fire chief that I'm talking with, Reginald D. Freeman, chief fire person right here in Oakland, and we are so happy to have him. Don't touch that dial. Don't touch that remote. We will be right back with All About Community.